Hello everybody, and today I'm going to do a technical video about the Canoptek Wraith. These models, they are arguably the best in the codex because of the less maintenance to get them to work properly. They can be outperformed by flayed ones and Lynch Guard. Yes, I know, Lynch Guard, the ones I said are the worst ones in the codex. They still are. You can buff them in a way to make them better than these. Okay. So let's go over a few hints and tips, which I will show you how to use these effectively, and I also show you some extra cheese, how to cheese your opponent and really annoy him. Warning, you might lose friends by cheesing. Okay, so warning, you might lose a few friends if you become that guy, so use at your own risk. Okay then, number one. These Wraiths with 12 inches standard, they have an ability called Wraith Flight, which basically gives them fly. Okay? They've been nerfed a little bit from the last codex. Voice shout at me and hit the dislike button, right? We all know. They used to have a 3-up save and a 3+ invulnerable save. They give a 4+ save and a plus an extra wound. So arguably it works out the same, right? So these are the same as the last edition because everything else has more damage output than they used to have. Okay, and these haven't got that. And the +1 wounds sound, well, they're a 3-up save anyway, okay? So they're the same as they are anyway. That's not true. If they had the 3-up armor in this edition, if you go in cover, which is very easy to do because they move 12 inches and fly over everything, they'd have a 2-up save from shooting. Okay, because that annoys me a bit. Okay? So basically, you got 3-up invulnerable saves, you'll use that all the time. Granted, the grav weapons work slightly differently on them now because they have 4-up armor, so keep an eye out for that. If your opponent, for some reason, takes grav against you, they got 4-up armor, not 3-up armor. So that's a positive you can put on it. So let's get into the tactic part. These Wraiths are very powerful, but they've lost stopping power. I know they got a -1, but in the old codex, on a 6 was AP2, which is roughly AP3, AP4 in this edition. So they've lost the rending ability, and Gene Stealers have still got it now, so you know it's still in there, it's just been transferred. These haven't got it anymore, they've got a flat, standard, -1 in combat. Okay, so whether you're attacking, just lose 1 armor. No 6s, instant kills stuff, and so on. Let's talk about weapon upgrades. They can take the XL gun, that gives them a mortal wound on a 6+. It's a heavy weapon, so you'll be hitting on the 4s, then you have to wound with it. I wouldn't recommend that, simply because you're hitting 4s, and you can't use it in combat, which these will basically be in almost every turn. Another option you have is the whip coils. These things snap if you just touch them normally, so they're a good option. What they do, if your Wraith dies in combat before you get to attack, you get to hit them when he dies. I personally, for the points, I wouldn't take that. Because by the time you kit out, like say, 2 unit Wraiths, you'll have enough for another unit Wraiths almost, so I'd rather just have standard and maybe have an extra few Wraiths on the board. You know, that's what I would rather do. So I wouldn't take the whip coils, I think they're too expensive. And if you're going to argue that the whip coils are awesome because you always get an attack back, don't forget, right, if they're shot off a table, you don't get to use them. Okay? So turn 1, you put 6 up the board like that, you decide, oh well, I'm going to shoot everything to the Wraiths. Boom, you lose 6 of them. Pretty worthless. So, that's why I wouldn't take whip coils as well. They're just not worth the points in my opinion, which is awesome. I'm the Necron Master. Okay, the one upgrade I would recommend giving them is the pistol. Simply because there's always a chance you can kill him in your shooting phase, then you're free to assault something else. Okay, that is the best thing about the pistol. It's not the shooting power or the stopping power, it's the fact there's always a small chance, if you're in combat with one of his units, you might kill his unit in your shooting phase, and you might be in range to charge something else. So that is the best option for Wraiths, if you want to give an upgrade. A lot of games I run them standard, because the pistol, the only time it ever pays off for me is when you're fighting horde armies. When you're fighting like space marines and stuff, I don't seem to do much damage with the pistol. I do a few wounds in like a turn or two. It's one of those things, I either like it or don't. I'm like 50-50 on it. It has uses, and I'm saying it doesn't, but it's still worth taking, because you've got that chance to do more damage. If you're low on points, don't take it, just take the Wraiths. Okay, but The Wraiths now, in 8th edition, their power is in numbers. Okay, in the 7th edition, you can get away with running units of 3 if you wanted to. You know, you could really annoy people. But with the damage output a lot of armies have got, especially Space Marines like with the Robert Gurleyman, you need unit of 6 just not to get up first blood easy. Okay, so let's go, that's the basic stats on these guys. Let's get in how to use these effectively. First things first, avoid, Life Depends on it, it does, stuff like that. Do not ever get to combat that does something that does more than 3 wounds a turn. Okay? The race power now is in their durability. Okay? If you get into combat with something that does 3 damage or 6 damage, you have a 3-up save, and as you know, you just kill the normal Space Marines with a 3-up save with no armor penetration. It's not that hard. Put enough wounds on them, they go down. So let's just say 1 or 2 gets through, you just lost 2 Wraiths. That is a lot of points just winning in combat. And because they haven't got much killing power, you might not even wound the damn thing. And if you do wound it, good on you. But the odds of 6 Wraiths killing something like that is really not in your favour. Obviously you can have bad dice rolls, and it can be done. But that is the stuff you want to avoid. You want to avoid Demon Princes, okay? Stuff that does more than 3 damage in combat. You will send these at things that do 2 damage or 1 damage. Simply because you get 2 saves on it. Okay, so if this thing had 15 attacks and does 1 wound each, go for it, because you get those 15 armor saves. You know? It's worth doing. But 1 fail 3 and it's gone. So, that's tip number 1. Avoid stuff you get with Wraiths, which is the complete opposite which most people use them. They're like, oh, Demon Prince, go Wraiths, destroy it. And then they're like, what, my Wraiths are dead? Well, yeah, of course. These are the things you want to go in. Unit of 10, do 1 damage each. So you want to send these, stuff like that. And not only that, right, they have a 3-up armor, so you have a good chance of wiping them out. Like so. And then you get into combat with them. If he's lucky, you'll kill 1. You'll kill quite a few of his, you'll get a +1 rends, and you haven't got anything, you're going to invent save. So that's where you want to send them out. Stuff like that. Not squishy stuff, but stuff that hasn't got the damage output that Demon Princes and Imperial Knights have got. Okay then, so another good tip for these now, right? Let's pretend there's Demon Princes in here. Okay, it's your turn 2, these are in the middle of the board, because you've had your movement. Let's say you shot the crap out of them, say you've lost 2. You had really good rolls, okay? You've lost 2 Wraiths. On top of that building there, there's an objective. Okay? So, he's castled now, in a way, that you're over 12 inches away, so you can't get up there. You can't get objective off him, right? So the first thing you say, well, I can't get objective, I'm just going to assault them. How would you say, right, you can actually get objective? What you want to do now, right, is charge these guys, okay? Damage these guys in here, so you'll kill, there's that many. He shouldn't be able to kill a Wraith. He shouldn't be able to do it. But just for argument's sake, he does kill 1. He shouldn't, though. So you got 3 Wraiths left. He has his turn. He's like, if I run out of combat now, they'll probably get the objective. I'll just stay there and keep the objective. And he might even ask you, can the Wraiths fly? He can't fly. Okay. And then he'll just do his other moves. Maybe he'll bring in something like this to get him next turn. And oh, ha ha. And your next turn, okay, fall back. And because they have Wraith Flight, which is basically fly, they can fly up here and claim your objective. Wobbly Model Syndrome is there, right? that is a way that you can use Wraiths to get objectives. You can use the fallback move to get extra distance. Because normally see, I have to attack them, or I'll have on my next turn, I'll move there, hope I survive, and then I'll get the objective. That's not what you want to do. Because you can get a lot more movement by assaulting something say 9 inches away, get lucky with the roll, you get in, and in your next turn you can just fall back and take it. So your 12-inch movement with a charge plus 9 inches is 21 inches. So a 12-inch movement with a 9-inch charge is a 21-inch move, and your next turn you just fall back on the objective. So that's a very dangerous way to use Wraiths that your opponent will not expect. You will not expect your core assault army to run away out of combat with stuff that should die easy to it. Okay? And like I keep saying in my videos, over half the objectives are secure objectives or defend objectives. Obviously, like, I would rather kill those and go up there if you haven't got a card for it. Let's say you got defend objective 4, that's that one. You need to hold that for 2 turns, and you know he's going to bring something over now, next turn and take it. Fall back on it, or he can't get off you. He can't get up there. And then Wraiths are hard to kill in the shooting phase, because the only things that basically kill them really quickly is last cannons. But you have a 3-up save against the last cannon, and there's so many points, so that's what you want to shoot at with. That's what you want him to shoot the Wraiths with, his last cannon, so the rest of your army is fine. Okay, so that is how, that's another good way to use Wraiths. Bring these back down now. I just showed you how to move 20 plus inches in one move. And believe it or not, I actually used these as sacrificial units. I know, they're a lot of points, right? Just to say, oh well, off to your death, my little Wraiths. Go have some fun. I honestly don't care if you kill my Wraiths, because I just don't rely on the Wraiths, because I know they don't do enough damage for what I need them to do. So what I normally like to do, I like to take one of your Wraiths, and I like to take 1 or 2 units of Scarabs as backup. I personally like to bring some Scarabs along for the fun. And you're asking, well, what's the point of bringing Scarabs on Wraiths? The Wraiths will get into combat with something, and if you use your mind and you don't get into combat with stupid things, they'll just wipe you out in 1 turn. These will catch up with the Wraiths next turn, join the assault, say these now. Second turn, these guys will join the assault, move 10 inches, you get an advance roll because they're too far to charge stuff. They'll join the thing, and then these guys are free to fall back into cover on another objective, or just contest another objective of your opponent, and then your next turn you can go and assault something else. So, these are good just to hold wherever the Wraith catch in combat. Like, see, these are the Hellblaster guys, right? If you're lucky enough to get into combat with them, turn 2, turn 3, you can leave combat with these and go lock something else up on your turn after that, and these guys can just hold them there. Okay. It's also good against tanks, right? If you can actually get close enough to a tank with the Wraiths, and just keep attacking it. You'll keep falling back and running away, and just fly over wherever's in the way. Like, say, boom, attack your tank again. Okay, let's just say that Demon Prince is a tank, okay? Yeah, I know. I haven't got space for a tank or anything. So, these have Wraith Flight, so you can fly over stuff, lock his tank in combat. He will run away with his tank. Like, you got all the last cans on it, like, run, yeah! You go, run away! And he'll bring his guys in like this. Make sure he moves 6 inches, or make sure you measure it, because they will try and cheat you, especially in the tournament scene. Your next turn then, you're like, where we go left, we go, obviously, he'll be shooting the crap out of these every turn with everything you got over there. But, the key to winning with these is durability, not the killing power. If you can stop his tank shooting for a turn or 2, your unit of Wraiths is paid for itself. And if you by some extraordinary luck, okay, you manage to get a unit of Scarabs up there by the tank, you should be able to just move them apart, like 2 inches apart, like so. Okay. I'm going to get a tank to show you. Okay. So let's pretend this is wherever the hell it's got, like this land raider or whatever, with all the last cannons on it. That red line is the end of the board, right? Let's just say you've got him to go like that. You've got his Wraiths there and you've got his guys there. If you've got enough Wraiths left, this will work. If not, the Scars will catch up and do it. But if you distance them like this, 2 inches away from each other, like so, like this, let's put this Demon Fence. If you do this now, right, he is not able to fall back and shoot you, because he physically cannot get out of combat. He's not allowed to go through you. He's allowed to fall back out of combat. That is very important to remember that, because if you can lock up something and block his escape route with a 2-inch gap, okay, he can't get away. And if you got like a massive tank full of HQ choices, and if he's stupid enough to get caught in a trap like that, you can't bring him out either. Can you imagine how annoying that would be if you got, say, 400 points? The tank is like 400 points, you got like 200-300 points of guys inside it, and you just cheese around the side and you won't let them out. Then you bring the Scarabs in, like, oh look, you're not getting out of there. And then you're free to run away with the Wraiths then, they can just pile in. Okay? That's a really awesome way to use Wraiths, is by doing that. If you're able to pull it off, right, the hate that your opponent will give you is amazing. And the trick will also work if you've got scabs behind it. Say he's not at the edge of the board. You get Assault. I'll try and get as much to the side, or even behind him if you can. Like so. And then send your second unit of Wraiths into the front, or even the Scarabs if you're taking Scarabs. And do the same thing. He can't get away, even though he's at the edge of the board, because he's not allowed to go through you. He can't go. He's like, ah! And just munch on him and kill him. So that's a way to use Wraiths and Scabs, because the speed that they have is amazing. So if you're like 3 inches away and you roll a 10 charge, 20 10 charge, you can fly over him. You can fly over him, because you can basically fly. Block up his escape route, and hopefully get in something else in there. If you've got 2 unit Wraiths, they normally together. Now if you use 2 unit Wraiths, take them together anyway, you need the stopping power. So used correctly, right, you can stop some of the strongest units in the game that just can't walk over your units. So if you got like I said, if you got like 300 points of HQs, or God knows what you've got in there, bang, yeah, can't use it. Eventually, the Wraiths will eventually kill it, okay? But that's an awesome way to keep him alive. He'll be in his deployment area, in combat, he can't fall back, so he can't shoot you. So you'll have to send some guys over to deal with you. If not, who cares? You've just lost all that points and you can't shoot me with your glass cannons. So that's 2 cheese tactics right there. And another good thing with these, if you give them pistols, you can move up a board, shoot something, and sort something else. So don't forget that 12-inch bubble that these guys will have with your pistols. Your main goals with the Wraiths is to tie things up that can't really hurt you too much in combat. Then bring in the Scarabs, and then fall back onto another objective if you can. Don't play them like you did in 7th edition, because they're not as good as they were, for the reasons I've told you at the beginning of the video. You want to hit something squishy-ish, and fall back onto objectives. And one last thing now, let me show you a way to freak out your opponent. Okay, let's say no, right, this is a good little way to use Wraiths. Let's say you move these here, right, because he's been chasing these Wraiths for a while, okay? He's like, oh, I'm going to get that objective off you, trying to trick you, so I'm going to kill all these immortals off and get objective off you. He really wants these, you know what he wants. So he'll expect you now, right, which you probably would do, or a lot of people would do, say, oh, well, the Demon Prince is going to kill my immortals, let's go take him out. You charge in, you get wiped out. Okay? What you want to do, right, is get this thing away from these. But say, how the hell am I going to do that? Watch now. You move your 12 inches. Say, like, 12 inches, like from there to there. Like so. Right? Like, oh, I see you can charge my Demon Prince, so you go for it. What you want to do is charge you guys behind them. Like so. You get in, you got command points, you should be getting. He's like, oh crap! Didn't expect that. Then he will not, if he assaults the immortals, good. Because that's attacks wasted there. Anything that does more than 1 damage is wasted in combat with immortals. Okay, so you should be charging over there, you shoot them with everything. You'd be like, do I go for this objective here? Or do I go sort these Wraiths up here? They're going to kill my entire backup line if I don't sort them out. Let's say 7 out of 10, he'll backtrack and take on the Wraiths. And if he does that, he should be locked there for, say, 2 turns, if you're lucky. He shouldn't be able to kill 6 Wraiths in a turn. 2 turns, if you're really lucky, 3 turns, but I would say he's trying to live 2 turns max. Okay, I'm very unlucky when it comes to combat with Wraiths. And that way, you have 2 more turns of freedom from this damn thing. Alright? Obviously put all your attacks into him when you're in combat with him. Try and take some wounds off him. But what you effectively did then, you baited him away from your other objective. Okay? So he won't expect that. And if he caught onto your plan, it's like, oh, nice try, I'm going, yeah. It doesn't matter if he's in there. At the most, he can kill, like, say, 4 or 5 units models a turn. It doesn't matter. You have your animation to come back on, and you just keep reanimating and bringing up on the side. Oh, these are, okay. Obviously, inch from an inch. Like so. So that one will come back there, and then that will come back there. And you move your 3-inch pile in, like so. You keep him away from the objective, so he can't actually get the objective off you. And then he will also be stuck in combat with that for a turn or 2. So depending on how he plays, you can bait him away from the units you actually want to protect. So that's another good way to use Wraiths, because they are fast. you can get close enough to him and charge him close to him to make you actually make him backtrack to attack you. And by making him backtrack, you take him away from you. It might even be an extra turn. You can come back and then fail a charge because he's so far away. So that's another good way to use Wraiths as bait. Okay, I love using Wraiths as bait because so many times I've managed to get my opponent to shoot me with all his last cannons and you kill like one Wraith. It's so funny. So use Wraiths as a sacrificial unit and a tie-up unit. And if you take Scarabs, which I would recommend, bring him in behind them. Just to hold whoever's there is there. Just watch out for flying units because they can shoot and run away. Okay, and that is my tactical video on 8th edition's Wraiths. And don't forget the most important part of Wraiths is they don't have fly, so if they do run away they can't shoot, but they do have the ability to fly. So they can get that, say like he's there, you got like 1 inch left to move, you go, that's 1 inch. He flies up. Alright, specifically says over model, so he's able, if they're like, it's like 16 inches high, you can just fly over like a flyer. Alright, so that is also a really good way, because you can get behind a massive wall, like a sight blocker, and just measure from him to the next guy you want to charge. Got ya. So, thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video.